Good morning, everyone. We want to thank you for joining CCR&R in our week-long celebration, Caring for Essential Providers. We're glad you could join us. Today's session is sponsored by CCR&R of Central Iowa, Region 4. And here is Julie Davis to tell you more.
Good morning, child care providers. My name is Julie Davis, and I'm the Community Development Specialist for Region 4. Welcome to our second day of Caring for Our Essential Providers Week. Many of you who are on with us already know what CCR&R does, but for anyone who might be able to tune into the recording later and is not able to join us now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the services that we provide. We provide parent referral services for families and parents who are looking for quality childcare. You can utilize this service by telephone or by using our website. We also provide training for childcare providers, and our childcare consultants provide direct support to programs across the state. We also work in communities on finding community childcare solutions and also advocating and educating for the importance of quality childcare. Thank you for being on with us today. This morning's activity is yoga for children and adults. We will tune into a yoga session with Grace Diehm. She is a wellness specialist at Unity Point Health in Grinnell, and she teaches yoga, and she often goes to the Grinnell Community Daycare Center and teaches yoga there to the children. She was not able to be on with us live, so we will watch a recording of one of her yoga sessions. Our intent is really just to provide you this time for you and your children to relax and unwind and participate in the session. Make sure you stay on after the yoga video because we will be giving away some really fun yoga-themed door prizes. We're going to draw those names and read them after we finish up the video. Let's go ahead and get started. We hope you are able to relax and follow along with us.
Welcome everybody to yoga. I am Grace Diehm and I work for Unity Point Health Hospital in Grinnell, Iowa. If you have questions, they're going to send out my email to you. But we're going to start seated on our mat. If you don't have a mat, you can use a beach towel, whatever is comfortable for you. And we're just going to crisscross our legs to just start with. If that's uncomfortable for you, feel free to extend the legs out. You can sit on the knees if you want. But we're just going to start crisscrossing our legs. We're just going to start with our tall, neutral spine here. So we don't want to slouch our shoulders, relaxing our shoulders, and bring our hands to our knees. And just feel free to close those eyes here. So as we inhale, we're going to take our deep breath in through your nose. As you exhale, releasing back out your nose. Inhale as you take your deep breath in. And exhale back out. Inhale as we take our deep breath in. Exhale back out. Just taking this hour for yourself, just kind of just relax and just paying attention to our bodies and what might feel uncomfortable to you. You can always feel free to hold a pose longer if you so choose to. In yoga, we always inhale and exhale through the nose here. As we exhale, just dropping your chin towards that chest. As we inhale, you're just going to lift up towards the ceiling. And we're going to exhale back down. Inhale as we lift. Exhale back down. So think about keeping our shoulders relaxed. And we're just really warming up our neck here and our muscles before we get to the bigger movements. As we exhale here, think about dropping that left ear down to the left shoulder and just stretching the right side of our neck here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. As we inhale, rolling your head forward and over to that right side. Again, keeping our shoulders relaxed here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Inhale, rolling your head again back to that left side. And just slowly rotating your head from side to side, or full circles all the way around. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Really think about keeping your shoulders relaxed here. You don't want any more tension build up in those shoulders or neck area. And if you're going full circles around, we're going to reverse our circle here. One last time around. As we inhale, coming back up nice and tall here. I'm just gonna rotate for my side here. As we inhale, think about lifting your chest towards the ceiling. We call this our cow pose here. So lifting that chest. As we exhale, you're gonna round your back, drop that chin to your chest into a cat pose, like our cat is hissing here. We're gonna inhale, lifting chest to the ceiling. Exhale, think about rounding that back, really dropping our chin towards that chest. Inhale through the nose, lift our chest to the ceiling. Exhale as you round the back. Inhale, proud chest to the ceiling. Exhale as we round. Inhale as we lift. Exhale as we round. Really warming up our back and spine here. Inhale, proud chest. Exhale as we round. One last time here. Inhale, lift that chest to the ceiling. Exhale as we round our back. On our next inhale, coming back up nice and tall here. As we exhale here, think about dropping your chest towards those knees. As you inhale, big circle back up. Exhale, circle down to those knees. Inhale, back up. Exhale, circle down to those knees. Inhale. As you make your way back up to center, we're going to exhale the other direction. So just reversing your circle here. Exhale down to those knees. Inhale, back up. Exhale as we circle. Inhale as we come back up to our seated position. One last time around here. And as we inhale, just sitting nice and tall here, placing our hands to the floor. As we inhale here, we're going to inhale, lifting that left arm to the ceiling. You can gaze to the fingertips, but you can also gaze forward. You can feel a nice stretch into your side as you exhale down to the mat. And we're going to inhale to the other side as we exhale down to the floor. And we're just going to alternate sides here. Remember, you can hold the pose as long as you so choose to, what feels good for you here. If you bring your arm overhead is too much, you can also bring it to the hip if you'd like. Whatever works best for you. Just really warming up our body here. One more time each side. Inhale as we lift. Exhale down. One last time here. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to release back down. We're going to bring our feet out here this morning, so bring our heels down to the mat. And we're going to hold on to our legs here. A couple options. We call this our boat pose. So you can keep your heels down. If you want more of a challenge from here, you can bring your legs off the ground. Think about really drawing your belly in towards our spine. Our backs are tried nice and flat here, so we try not to round our shoulders. Shoulders are back. Your arms can be out as wide. You can still hold on to the legs. You can also extend the legs. So a few options here for you. And just focusing on something in front of you to help with our balance so we don't move from side to side here. And just really think about drawing our belly in towards our spine. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose here. A lot of core strength here. As we exhale, just extending our legs out into that seated forward fold. We're going to inhale, hinging forward. Again, here, you don't have to fully reach for those toes. Don't force the stretch, wherever it works best for you. As we inhale, coming back into our boat. So we're at, again, finding what works best for you. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose here. On your exhale, we're going to extend our legs out. Inhale, hinging forward. As we inhale, just coming back up nice and tall here. And from here, just bring your legs out into our V. And you're going to sit nice and tall here. And we're going to bring the arms straight out to the letter T. So as you exhale, you're going to cross over, ask the hand towards the opposite foot. Once again, you don't need to touch your toes. And we're going to inhale up. Exhale as you rotate. Inhale through the nose up to center. Exhale out the nose as we rotate. Inhale and exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale as you rotate. And one more time each side. Exhale, rotate. We're going to inhale back up. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back up to center. As you exhale here, just bring those arms to your side and big shoulder rolls back. And we're going to roll them forward. Just coming back to our neutral position, keeping our legs into our V here, still sitting nice and tall. As you exhale, you're going to hinge forward. Feel like you're sweeping the floor here. We're going to inhale back up nice and tall. Exhale, hinging forward. You might feel this stretch into the inner thighs, maybe into your lower back, into our hamstrings, and the back of our legs. Depends on where you're tight. Everybody's different here. It doesn't have to be a big movement. As we exhale here, see if we can stretch out a little farther every time as we sweep that floor. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, back up. Exhale. And one last time here, exhale as we come forward. As we inhale, coming back up nice and tall here. From here, I want you to keep your right leg extended, and you're going to bend that left foot in towards that inner thigh. Okay? We're going to bring our right hand down towards your leg. It can be placed wherever it's comfortable for you. We're going to inhale, opening your left arm to the ceiling. So really rotating of that chest towards the ceiling. As you exhale, releasing down towards that right foot. We're going to inhale through the nose, opening up to the ceiling. Exhale, back down. So inhale as you open that chest. Exhale to that right leg. Inhale as we open. Exhale back down. One last time here. Inhale as we rotate. As you exhale, just extending both arms over your right leg. And from here, we're just stretching out your hamstring in the back of that leg here, in that right leg. Again, don't force the stretch. If you can't reach your toes, go wherever it's comfortable for you. We're going to inhale, just coming back up nice and tall. Now with your left leg, we're going to place it over top. And really think about your tall spine here. You're going to bring your right arm around that knee, left hand behind, tall spine here as we gaze towards that back shoulder. So remember, try not to slouch like we're slouching in a chair. Think about opening up that chest, shoulders are back. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose here. And if you can't get the breathing down, that's okay. It takes time. As long as you're breathing through the session, that's what we need. We don't want to feel like we're going to pass out or get lightheaded here. As we inhale here, keeping our left leg over that right foot, or right leg, excuse me, you can certainly bring that left ankle to that right thigh. So we're gonna open up that left hip. If you'd like a little more events or deeper stretch, you're just gonna bring your right foot to the floor. Okay. Whatever works best for you. Everybody's different in the hips especially. We're just gonna inhale and exhale through the nose here, opening up that left hip. As we exhale, just extending your left leg out this time. We're gonna bend that right foot in. So we're just switching sides. And left hand down. We're gonna inhale, open up that right arm to the ceiling this time, rotating of that chest. As you exhale down to that left leg, inhale, opening up that chest to the ceiling. Exhale, back down. Inhale, as we open and rotate. Exhale. Inhale as we open. Exhale down. Inhale. And exhale. One last time here. Inhale as we open up to the ceiling. As we exhale, extending both arms over your left leg. And we're just going to tuck the head between those arms. We're going to inhale back up nice and tall. Now with that right leg, we're just going to bring it over top. Left arm around that knee, right hand behind this time. Again, tall spine here, proud chest as we exhale, gazing towards that back shoulder. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. As we inhale, coming back to center, into that hip stretch, you can place that right ankle over your left thigh. You can also bring that left foot to the mat. Again, whatever works best for you. If it feels uncomfortable, don't force the stretch. You can come into that modified position here. As we exhale, untangling yourself and just extending your legs out along the mat. We're going to bring our arms overhead as you roll onto your back, just slowly coming down all the way onto your back. And bring those arms overhead, palms together here. And just a nice long stretch from our fingertips down towards toes. Feel free to close those eyes here. Really stretching out our back. And feel free to rotate those wrists and ankles. And wiggling your fingers and toes. Maybe opening and closing our hands. Really stretching out that back here. Now as we exhale, we're going to sweep the floor as you bring those arms down along your sides. As you inhale, think about bringing your arms back overhead. Exhale out the nose as we sweep the floor. So really still warming up those shoulders. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale as you sweep the floor. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sweep the ground. One last time here, inhale. And exhale, sweep the floor. And keeping your arms down to your side. We're gonna think about inhale, lifting just your right leg to the ceiling. It doesn't have to be fully extended. You can keep it bent if you'd like. But really think about keeping our back flat to the floor, meaning imprinting that pelvis and lower back into the ground. So you can't get your hand between the back and the floor. From here, again, you also don't want to move the hips. So your body should not be moving from side to side. So as you exhale, you're going to make a circle with your leg, as big or small as you'd like. This is a lot of abdominal stomach area work, making sure our backs are flat here. We should not be swaying from side to side. So exhale as you make that circle. And when you come down with that circle, making sure your back is flat. If it's starting to arch, you're going too far. So just make your circle a little smaller. And we're going to inhale back up to center. Now as you exhale, reverse the circle. You can always hold on to the leg if you choose to. As we inhale, just come back up to center. We're going to bend that leg in towards your chest and just grabbing a hold of your leg here. As you exhale, you can pull that leg down closer towards that chest, just a deeper stretch into our leg. From here, certainly rotate that ankle here if that feels good for you, wiggling our toes. As we exhale into a nice spinal twist, crossing your right leg over that left. And we're gonna gaze over to your right shoulder and making sure your right shoulder is still on the floor. If it is coming off, you're going too far, so just kind of bring up that spinal rotation a little bit. And as we inhale, just coming back up onto your back. We're gonna extend that right leg out along the floor. We're gonna inhale, lifting your left leg this time to the ceiling. Again, think about imprinting your back and pelvis, rotating of that pelvis into the ground so you cannot get your hand between your back and the floor. As you exhale, you're gonna make your circle as big or as small as you'd like. And the hips should be nice and straight. They should not be moving from side to side. Again, you can hold on to the leg if you choose to. We're gonna inhale, back up to center. Exhale, reverse your circle here. As we inhale, coming back up to center, we're gonna exhale, bending that leg towards your chest. And as you exhale, you can push that leg down a little deeper if that feels comfortable for you. And feel free to rotate that ankle, wiggling our toes. As we exhale here into our spinal rotation on that left side, crossing that left over your right, keeping your left shoulder on the ground and gazing over that left shoulder here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. As we inhale, just coming back up onto our back. And once we're there, think about bringing your feet to your mat, knees to the ceiling, and feet are about hip width apart. And our heels are about a foot or so away from our tush, not too far out. So keeping our legs bent here, arms are to our side. As we inhale through the nose, we're gonna inhale, think about lifting your hips towards the ceiling, really tightening your glutes, which is your butt muscles, into your hamstrings and the back of those legs. Now, as you exhale, just slowly releasing one vertebrae at a time down to the floor. You want full control movement. You just don't want to fall to the ground. Now, as you inhale, lifting your hips, you can add those arms in. So inhale, lift those arms overhead. And they don't have to touch the floor here. Now, as you exhale, bring those arms back down towards those feet. Inhale through the nose as we come into that bridge, lifting off the mat. Exhale as we control down to the floor. Inhale through the nose as we lift off the ground. Full control movement. You never want to feel like you're just falling down to the floor. One last time here, inhale. As we exhale, releasing all the way back down to the floor. Once we're there, as we inhale, think about lifting your hips back into your bridge. So lifting your hips as high as we can. From here, you can clasp those hands together underneath, or you can even place those arms to your side. So whatever works best for you and comfortable for our wrists or shoulders maybe, but really think about lifting your hips and chest towards the ceiling. Hands can be placed where it's comfortable again for you. We're gonna inhale and exhale through the nose, tightening your glutes into our hamstrings and the back of our legs. Placing our arms back to your side. Now, as we exhale, just slowly releasing one vertebrae at a time down to the floor. And from here, coming into your pelvic tilt here. So what that means is you're gonna inhale, rotating up your pelvis so that lower back again is pushed into the floor so you cannot get your hand between the back, or excuse me, your back and the floor here. Now, as you exhale, just coming back to your neutral position, so where we started. So inhale, think about rotating up your pelvis into that floor. As you exhale, coming into that neutral position where we started. Inhale as you imprint, again, getting your back to the ground so you cannot get your hand between the back and the floor here. Exhale. One last time here. Inhale as you rotate your pelvis into the ground. As you exhale, just coming back to that neutral position. Placing those arms where it works best for you here. And really think about keeping your shoulders onto the ground. As you exhale into your windmills, you're just gonna drop your knees to one side. As you inhale, bring the knees to center. Exhale out the nose as we rotate to the other side. Again, keeping your shoulders on the floor so you should not feel like you're just rolling over to one side. Upper body is still on the floor here. If you'd like a little more advanced from here, you can certainly bring your legs up 90 degrees, so bring your feet off the mat. As you exhale, rotate. Inhale up. Exhale as you rotate. But again, making sure those shoulders are on the floor. You can also extend the legs out. So a few options here. If you feel like you're straining your back, etc., with your feet off, I would certainly bring your feet back to the floor. You know what? You never want to feel like you're straining your back, etc., just trying to do an exercise. It's okay to modify. As we inhale, bring those knees to center, drawing those knees to our chest. We call this a bear hug. And you're just going to rock side to side on your lower back, if that feels good. Or you can come in to rolling from front to back along the spine. A couple options there for you, whatever feels good once again. And just coming back to center. And we're going to bring our legs out 90 degrees here. So again, imprinting your pelvis into the ground. As you exhale, we're going to toe tap one foot down towards the ground. Does not fully need to touch the mat. We're going to inhale back up. Exhale to the other side. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale out the nose. If you'd like a little more advanced from here, you can extend the leg out so you're going to drop more with your heel. Once again, it does not need to touch the ground. Making sure we are not arching our back either way. That back is fully imprinted into the ground, of rotating your pelvis into the floor. And we're going to inhale back up to center, drawing our knees back to our chest into that bear hug, and just rocking side to side. As we exhale, you're just going to drop both knees over to one side, and we're going to come up to our hands and knees here. So coming onto those hands and knees, making sure your wrists are going to be in line with your shoulder here. We want to be out here because all that pressure is going to be on your shoulders, and then we're going to get shoulder problems. So wrists in line with our shoulders, hips with our knees. Okay. Think about keeping your head neutral. So gazing at the floor here, we don't want to gaze up because that's going to strain your neck. So gazing towards the ground here. As we exhale, coming into our cat here, exhale, rounding that back, dropping your chin towards your chest into your cat. As you inhale through the nose, think about dropping your chest towards the ground. Exhale, round the back. Inhale into our cow. Exhale, round the back. Inhale. Exhale as we round. Inhale into our cow. One more time through. Exhale, round the back. As we inhale, just coming into that cow position. Coming into our spinal balance here. So as we inhale, think about lifting opposite arm and leg straight up towards the ceiling. Thumb up towards the ceiling here. Think about keeping your head neutral again with our spine. Really drawing that belly towards our spine here. Helps with our balance, back strength. As we exhale, think about drawing that knee in towards the elbow. As we inhale, you're just going to extend arm and leg back out. You're going to exhale down to the mat. When you're ready, inhale to the other side. Exhale, draw that knee in. Inhale, as you extend back out. Exhale to the floor. So we're just going to alternate sides here. Finding something on the floor to stare to help with our balance here. A lot of core strength here is involved with yoga to help with balance, strengthening. And just take it at your time. If you want to take out the knee to opposite elbow, that is totally fine. You can just inhale, lift, And then right away as you exhale, you would just come back to the floor. One last time here, inhale. Exhale, draw that knee in. And we're gonna inhale back out. Now you're gonna exhale back to all fours. We call this our child's pose, a really famous pose here. You can bring your knees out as wide as that mat, but you don't have to. And think about bringing your big toes together. As you exhale, think about bringing your toes towards those heels. Fully extending your arms overhead. Fingers are open nice and wide here. And fully bring your forehead to the floor. And just a nice long stretch from our fingertips through our back. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose here. Again, feel free to rotate those wrists. Maybe opening and closing our hands, wiggling our fingers. Maybe here we're checking with our body of how we're feeling. Feel free to come to this pose whenever you need to. If you feel like you just need a break, just to relax. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Now as we inhale, we're going to inhale coming back up onto our hands, so wrists in line with shoulders. Now we're going to bring our hips just in front of our knees a little bit. They don't have to be fully in front, just about ½ inch, not even, in front of those knees. Keeping our head neutral, think about drawing your belly towards our spine here. So as we exhale, coming into your crocodile, think about bringing your elbows to your side, controlling down to the floor. As we inhale through the nose, we come into that cobra. Think about lifting your chest off the ground. As you exhale, keep pushing yourself back up into that child's pose. Inhale as we come forward. Exhale as you crocodile down, keeping your elbows to those sides. Inhale, lift that chest. Exhale, push yourself up into that chest. So you always want to feel like you're controlling down into the floor here. You never want to just feel like you're going to fall to the ground. A lot of core strength here in upper body. If you want to be off the knees, you can come into our downward dog, so coming up onto our toes. And you're going to inhale, coming forward into that plank. Exhale to crocodile down, elbows to our side. Inhale, lift that chest. And exhale back up to down dog. So a couple options here. You can always mix and match, meaning mixing up the toes and knees. And just finding what works best for you, but think about really controlling down to the floor. One more time through here. And as we finish, we're going to come back into our child's pose. So again, knees can be as wide as that mat. Fully extend those arms overhead. Fingers are open nice and wide. And feel free to rotate those wrists here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. As we inhale, coming back into all fours. We're going to curl our toes behind us into our downward dog. Just think about lifting your hips to the ceiling, dropping head between those arms. As we exhale, just pedaling those heels to the floor, bending your knees, stretching out those calf muscles. And feel free to hold one heel down towards the floor if you want for a little bit, and then you can switch sides. Or you can just keep pedaling as well. From here, we're going to walk your feet towards your hands. As we inhale, just coming up one vertebrae at a time, back up nice and tall. We're just going to start into that mountain pose here. So bring your feet about hip width apart. And we're just going to place our arms to our sides, relaxing our shoulders. And just feel free to close those eyes here. Don't feel like you're locking your knees here. We don't want to feel like we're going to pass out. As we inhale, taking that deep breath in through your nose. As you exhale, releasing back out. Inhale as you take that deep breath in. Exhale back out. Inhale as we take that deep breath in. Exhale back out. On your next inhale, big shoulder rolls back. Bring those shoulders up to those ears. And reverse, inhale, bring them forward. One last time here. As we inhale, as you inhale, bring those arms overhead, coming up onto your tiptoes here, finding something in front of you to stare to help their balance. Again, drawing that belly towards our spine here. As you exhale, releasing down to the floor. Inhale as we lift. And if you don't want to lift those heels off the ground, you can keep your feet totally flat to the floor and just inhale, lift those arms. Exhale. Inhale as we lift. Exhale to the floor. One last time here, inhale. As we exhale here, we call this our chair pose. So what we're gonna do is coming into a chair, basically squat position. Thinking about our butt push back. Okay, we don't wanna have our knees over our toes. So pushing your butt back if you cannot see your toes over those knees. So you never want to be here. Push your butt back. You should be able to see your big toes over those knees. If not, again, push that tush a little farther back. Keep your chest open and forward. We don't want to feel like we're coming down towards the ground here. You're going to pull into that lower back. So into that chair here. We're just going to warm up those legs. Inhale, bring those arms overhead. As we exhale to your forward fold down, we're going to hinge forward, reaching towards your feet. As you inhale, coming up halfway, so hands to the shins. Back is flat here, head is neutral once again. Exhale to the floor. Inhale, back up nice and tall. Exhale, back to that chair position here. Again, you can always look at those toes if we need to. And now I'm going to add a little balance work here. As we inhale, think about lifting your right leg off the ground. As you exhale, coming back to the chair position. And we're going to inhale to the other side. Exhale. So just alternating sides here. You can challenge yourself here by extending the leg out if you'd like. You can certainly keep it bent. If that is still too much, you can just lift the heel off the ground. Finding what works best for you here. As we exhale, coming into our chair, we're going to inhale back up nice and tall. Exhale forward, fold down. You're going to inhale up halfway again. Backs are flat here. Head is neutral. Exhale to the floor. As we exhale here, think about putting your hands to the lower back, so where your pockets might be. You can inhale, lifting that chest to the ceiling. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. We're going to stay here, but think about clasping your hands behind you. We're going to inhale, lift that chest to the ceiling, squeezing our shoulder blades here in the upper back. And we're going to keep our knees a little bit here. We're going to exhale, hinging forward, hinging forward. Bring that forward as close as you can to your thighs. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. As you exhale, let those arms fall to the ground into that forward fold again. So we're going to stay in that forward fold here. As we inhale, lifting that right arm to the ceiling. Exhale to the floor. We're going to inhale to that left side. Exhale. So here, think about keeping your backs flat. We don't want to feel like we're rounding like a cat or coming way too far to the ground, because you're going to really arch your back, meaning you're going to put strain onto the lower back. So think about your back like a table. Our tables aren't usually humpy. Something probably would fall off of it. So thinking about our backs nice and flat here along with your head. Your head's going to rotate as you bring the arm up, but when you come back to center, making sure everything's aligned. One more time each side. Inhale as we open. Exhale. As we exhale, releasing down to the floor, we're going to inhale back up nice and tall. And just shake out those arms and legs here. We're going to do a little more balance here. You can always use a wall if you have one near you. You can use a chair to hold on to if you'd like. But this is another famous pose here. We're going to come into our tree pose. So let's start with our left foot as our base. You're going to bring your right foot up to where you're comfortable with going. So that foot needs to be either above or below your knee. You never want to place it on your knee. So you never want to feel like you're going to move that knee or injure it. But you can also place your toes to the floor or the heels on your leg as well. So kind of finding what works best for you. Again, think about that tall spine here, gazing at something in front of you, drawing your belly in once again, a lot of core strength once again into that balance. You can inhale, lift those arms overhead if you choose to. We call this heart center, so arms can come to your chest. Hands can be also to your side. Finding what works best for you. We're going to inhale and exhale through the nose. If you want to challenge your balance here, a couple options. You can close those eyes. You can move those arms as well. You can even move that foot if you choose to. Remember, challenging version. Maybe even just bring your gaze up higher. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. As we exhale, releasing that right foot back to the floor, just shake out those legs. And when you're ready, we're just going to switch sides. So right foot's the base this time. Bring that left foot up, again, wherever it's comfortable for you or what works best. You can certainly stay here. You can inhale, lift those arms overhead as well. Hands can also come to heart center or arms to your side. Finding that focal point to stare at. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Two more deep breaths in and out. And as we exhale, just releasing to the floor and shake out those legs if we need to, rotating of those ankles. We're gonna do one more balance one here. So we're gonna come into, I call this a clock exercise, especially for kids, visuals or adults, but left foot's gonna be your base foot. And we're just gonna think about lifting your right leg to noon, if that was a clock. Think about that tall spine here. We don't want to feel like we're leaning to that left side because you're going to put more straight onto your left hip. Now, as you exhale, think about bringing your right leg to the side. So that's 3 o'clock. The foot can be sideways or toes to the ceiling. As we exhale, think about bringing your leg straight back into a 6 p.m. We're going to inhale, bring that leg forward. So try not to let that foot touch the ground. It's okay if it does. Challenging your balance here. Again, you can use those arms as well as if we were just in our tree pose. Adding those arms will throw your balance off. So coming up to that noon, 3 o'clock, back for 6 p.m. Finding that focal point to start. Remember, not leaning over to that left side. One more time each direction. And as we finish, on your exhale, just coming back to the floor and shake it out if we need to. And when you're ready, coming to the other side. So we're going to inhale, lift the left leg. We're going to bring it out to the side. Exhale behind. Again, you can add those arms in if you choose to. Whatever works best for you. Again, using a wall if you need to, a chair, something sturdy to hold on to. Probably not a chair with wheels. You don't want to fall. One more time each direction. As we exhale, we're going to release all the way to the floor and shake out those legs. If you moved from your mat, just returning to our mat here. We call these our warrior poses. So you're going to think about putting your right foot forward on our mat. And we're going to step back with your left foot. So your left foot needs to be sideways on your mat. If you look, your heels should be in line with each other. Okay? If not, just readjust. And your stance, meaning how far out wide those feet are, can be as wide as you'd like. Okay? So as we inhale, we're going to think about lifting your arms towards the ceiling. As you exhale, basically into a lunge position, bring those arms out wide. That knee is over your ankle. Okay, so we don't want to be too far forward. If you are, just shift your weight back. Okay, you should be able to see your big toe over that knee. So as we inhale here, we call this a reverse warrior. You bring your left arm to your side, right arm to the ceiling. That right knee is going to stay in that same position here. As you exhale to your side angle, right arm to your thigh or towards the ground here, wherever it works best for you. Left arm can come to the ceiling. You can also bring it closer to the ear. A couple options. You can bring it to the hip or hand behind our back. But really think about opening up that chest. Okay, we don't want to feel like we're crouching down towards the ground. That's again going to pull into that back. So inhale into that reverse warrior. And keeping that knee in line with that ankle here. And feel free to hold the pose as long as you so choose to. Again, it doesn't have to be a big movement. Into our side angle, you can be right here as well. We're going to go one more time each direction here. On your next inhale, just slowly coming back up nice and tall. And we're going to release our arms to our sides and just stepping forward with our left foot. And now we're going to switch sides. So left foot forward on that mat. Your right foot is back and sideways once again. Again, paying attention to your heels, that they're in line. And your stance can be as wide as you'd like. From here, we're going to inhale, lift those arms overhead. Exhale, arms out wide. Again, pushing that knee over the ankle like a lunge position here. Making sure you see your big toe over your knee. If you can't, shift your weight back a little bit. You might need to bring your stance a little wider and making sure your right foot is sideways. Inhale into reverse warrior, right arm to your side, left arm to the ceiling. Again, as we come to that side angle, place that left hand where you so choose to, right arm to the ceiling. Hand to the hip or behind your back. Again, making sure our shoulders are back though. You never want to feel like we're caving into the floor. We're going to inhale into that reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale. Exhale. One more time each direction. Inhale. Exhale as we come forward. On your next inhale, coming back up nice and tall, releasing your arms to our sides. We're going to step forward with our back foot. And now we're going to make our way back down to the floor. Couple options here, coming into that downward dog, where you're pedaling your heels to the floor. Or you can come into that child's pose that we've been in before, knees as wide as that mat. Extending those arms overhead and dropping your forehead to the floor. So finding what works best for you and what feels good for you. We're going to drop to our knees here, coming into our child's pose. Extending those arms fully overhead. Again, dropping your forehead to the floor. And just a nice long stretch from our fingertips through our back. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose here. As we inhale, coming up into all fours. Now as we exhale, just coming slowly down to that stomach. Once you're to your stomach, fully extending those arms overhead. Think about thumbs up to the ceiling. Keeping our head neutral once again with our spine. So we should not be gazing forward. You're going to strain your neck. Gazing towards the floor here. Pelvic bone into the ground. As we inhale into our Superman, another popular pose here. We're going to inhale, lifting arms and legs off the ground. As you exhale down to the mat. Inhale through the nose, lifting off the floor. Exhale to the ground. Inhale as we lift. Exhale to the floor. Inhale as we lift off. Exhale. One last time here. Inhale, lifting off the mat. As we exhale, we're going to release all the way down to the floor. From here, swinging your arms to your side and think about palms to the ceiling. Head is neutral once again, and pelvic bone into the floor. As we inhale into our locust, lifting arms and legs off the ground, Feel like you're reaching for the back wall with your fingertips, so keeping your shoulders away from the ears. As you exhale down to the floor, inhale as we lift. Exhale to the ground. Inhale as we lift. Exhale to the floor. As we exhale, we're going to release all the way down to the ground. And we're going to place our hands by our shoulders. So as we come into that cobra today, we're going to inhale, pushing off the mat by fully extending your arms out. Pelvic bone is into the floor. If your pelvic bone is coming off the ground, you're going to hyperextend that lower back. Nobody wants back pain. As you exhale down to the mat, inhale as you push off. Exhale, slowly come back down. You're never going to feel like you're just going to fall to the floor in yoga. So options here, you can certainly just push off those hands. You can also come just to those forearms. So inhale, lift. Exhale. We're going to feel that stretch right into that lower back, down into your glutes once again, into your hamstrings. Exhale. If you have lower back pain, etc., this is a very good stretch for that. Making sure that your pelvic bone is into the floor. As we exhale, coming all the way down to the ground. Now as you inhale, push yourself back up into all fours. We're going to come back into your child's pose. But with those arms, you're going to extend both arms over your left leg. But you're going to stack your right hand on top of your left and just tuck the head between those arms. So just a little deeper stretch into our side, maybe down into our glute, depending on where you are tight in. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. As we inhale, walk your hands to center and over to the right side, left over right, and just tuck the head between those arms. We're going to inhale, walk our hands back to center. We're going to inhale back into all fours. Once we're there, we're just going to rotate ourselves back onto our back. And once you're to your back, just fully extending your legs out. And just bring our arms overhead. Just a nice stretch from fingertips to toes. Feel free to rotate those wrists and ankles here and wiggling your fingers and toes. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. We're going to inhale, lifting your right leg up to the ceiling. We're going to do a nice hamstring stretch in the back of your leg. You can grab a hold of the leg here. You can certainly keep it bent, whatever works best for you. Your left foot can be to the mat if you'd like, or you can fully extend it out. But if you have an extension on that leg, making sure your back is just nice and flat to the floor. It doesn't have to be imprinted, but don't feel like you're straining your back just to stretch your hamstring. You can always bring that foot to the ground. We're going to exhale, bring that right foot to the floor and switch sides. So lift that left leg to the ceiling. As you exhale, we're going to release back down to the floor. Coming into our figure four stretch, you're going to cross your right ankle over your left thigh. So option one, you can certainly stay here. You can also lift your left leg off the ground, grabbing a hold of that left leg, making sure we're not straining of our neck here. If your neck is off, it certainly can, but don't straighten your neck. If you feel like you're straightening your neck, placing it to the floor. If that still is bothering you, certainly keep your foot to the ground. Really open up that right hip here. From here, you're going to fully just crisscross those knees over each other. So if you were sitting in a chair and crossing your legs, so just crossing those legs here. Option here, you can reach up for your shins on both legs, hands to the ankles or toes, and you're going to think about pulling those legs towards you, basically opening up your hips a little deeper. Again, your head can be off the ground. If you feel like you're straightening, come back down to the floor. And you can certainly be here without grabbing onto the legs. Now as we exhale, we're going to untangle and figure forward to the other side. So left over right. Again, keeping your right foot down to the ground or bringing your right leg up to the ceiling and relaxing onto that mat. You might notice which side might be a little tighter on than others, more flexibility. Maybe we've had past injuries. And from here, crisscrossing those knees once again as if you were sitting in a chair. Grabbing hold of the ankles if you want, toes, whatever works best for you and what feels comfortable for you. You never want to feel like you're straining any muscles. From here, just uncrossing those legs, bring those legs together. We're going to exhale into a spinal twist, dropping both knees to one side, gazing over the opposite shoulder here, and making sure that shoulder is on the floor once again like we did before. Stretch out that back. If you want a deeper stretch, your top leg, you can extend that leg out. We're going to inhale back up to center and exhale, rotate to the other side. Again, if you'd like a deeper stretch, extending that top leg this time and gazing over that opposite shoulder. We're going to inhale, coming back up onto your back. We call this a happy baby pose. So bring those legs up towards the ceiling, grabbing hold of your toes, or you can grab right behind the knees. Just a nice inner thigh stretch of those legs. Coming into our supine cobbler's pose. So bring your feet together and then knees out wide all the way down to the mat. Again, nice inner thigh stretch here. You can place those arms where it works best for you. Some people enjoy putting their hands on their belly. Just inhale and exhale through the nose. Hands can be to your side. And again, wherever it's comfortable for you. We're just going to make our way into final relaxation. So just finding a pose that works best for you. You can certainly go back to any pose that you would like. And just kind of relax your body and your mind here. Just inhale and exhale through the nose. We're just going to slowly start to wake back up. Just rotating those wrists and ankles and just wiggling your fingers and toes. We're gonna fully extend those arms back overhead, palms together. Here's one big stretch from our fingertips to our toes. We're gonna slowly roll over to one side. And when you're ready, just slowly coming back up to that seated position. So we started class. You can crisscross those legs once again and big shoulder rolls back. And rolling forward. One last time here. And we're just gonna rotate our head over to one shoulder. Inhale to center, exhale to the other side. Inhale. Just rotating from side to side. One more time. We're going to inhale back to center. Take that one deep breath in through our nose. As you exhale, just let it out your mouth. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day. Namaste.
Well, that was a great yoga session. Yoga can really be a great way to bring mindfulness to your day. And it's also great for children to help them learn how to be calm and mindful, but also just to get some physical activity in for the day. If you would like to get in touch with Grace Diehm, she did provide me with her email address. So if you have questions about the session, you can reach out to me and I will get that to you. And she also did recommend the Cosmic Kids Yoga to me as well when I was talking to her. So a lot of you put in the chat box if that's what you use. There were also some other resources that you had talked about in the chat box. So thank you so much for sharing your ideas. One of the really cool things I think about this Essential Provider Week is that we're able to connect with each other and share ideas about different topics and get new ideas about what to do in our programs with our kiddos. So I will go ahead and show you the door prizes that we have for today. We have a new yoga mat for you to use to practice yoga. A very nice childcare resource and referral hot cold bottle for your beverages. And these super fun yoga pretzels cards. So a lot of you were talking about YouTube stations or different resources for yoga. This also can be a great way to just pull out a card and there are different yoga activities on it. So we did purchase these from Amazon. So if you're not a winner today, maybe you could look into purchasing these. They weren't too expensive and they look really fun. So the winners were drawn randomly during the video. So I will go ahead and read the winners' names and then we will contact you in order to get your prize to you. Okay, there are 10 packages up of those three things up to be won today. So the winners' names are Barb Mayers, Kathy Boland, Crystal Schaefer, Emily Klenk, Jackie Howell, Jessica Page, Julie Hanneman, Molly Stark, Kendra Menon, and Leah Baker. So if I read your names, you've won a door prize for today. Thank you for joining us. If you have any other questions for me at all, you can go ahead and type them in the chat box now, or you can always email me directly at jdavis@orchardplace.org. Anybody have anything else that they want to share or any questions for us today? Well, again, my email is always open. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or comments at all. We love being able to provide these opportunities for you. It was so great to see in the chat box. A lot of you were doing this with your kids along with us. Those cards, again, there was someone in the chat box that wanted to know the cards. They're called yoga pretzels. They're really easy to find online. So there's 50 different cards with lots of activities. So it's a great resource too for yoga. Remember to keep your kids active in your program. Thank you for joining us. Tonight at 6 p.m., we're going to have another self-care session. You won't want to miss the motivational speaker, and we have a new package of door prizes. So make sure you tune in at 6 p.m. so that you can learn some more about self-care and join us to celebrate you some more. Thanks, child care providers. Have a great rest of your day.